Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vaishnav Matari. Thank you, Matari. Network was. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all to the chapter 7, chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. We did yesterday chapter 7. We pay our humble obeisance to Shri Shri Radha Govinda and seek their blessings. We'll start with the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yen Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. All glories to Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All glories to His Holy Jagataka Swami Guru Maharaj. All glories to His Temple Present, His Grace. Namaste Rashtrakuti. We have humble obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, to Guru Maharaj, and His Grace. Namaste Rashtrakuti. So today's chapter is Akshara Brahma Yoga, chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Who is the Supreme? We yesterday learned what are the energies of the Supreme, right? So how we can remember him. And now we are, the various divine energy who worship demigods and who worship God. And how now you know that who is the Supreme. Now how to achieve the Supreme, right? Attaining the Supreme. So this is practically perform Bhakti Yoga. What is the practicality involved in Bhakti Yoga? Overview of chapter 8 comes to answers to the Arjuna's questions, right? We yesterday learned some question, terminologies that Adi Deva, Adi Bhuta, and Adi Yagna, right? Super soul, right? What are these? What are the what are these terminologies that Prana Kale? These are questions we learned some in the shloka, right? So these were the question on the question, right? What are these terms? Arjuna will ask to Krishna. So, and what happens, what happens remembering Krishna at the time of death? What happens? What happens if we remember Krishna at the time of death? Remembering Krishna by Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Right? Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Yoga Mishra Bhakti is how to remember Krishna by doing Yoga Mishra Bhakti. How to do that, right? And what is the how to remember Krishna by pure bhakti, by pure bhakti, right? And what is difference between the material world and the spiritual world? How a material world is defined and how spiritual world is defined? Then ultimately we will see the supremacy of pure bhakti in attaining Krishna, right? So part one, Arjuna's questions and Krishna's answer, right? So Arjuna inquired, "O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is this Brahman? What is the self? The self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me." This is his first one, right? Second one. Second part is 8.2. How does this Lord of Sacrifice, Adi Yagna, sacrifice in the body, and in which part does he live? Where does the Supreme Soul, where does he live? O Madhusudana. And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? No, at the time of death, what happens at the Prayana Kale? How one is engaged in devotional service, how he can know at the time of death. These are the questions that are being asked by Arjuna now. So why he is asking? Because in the 7.2930, these were the shloka. Jara marana mokshaya mama shritta yatanti ye te brahma tad vidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakhilam. So here Brahman and adhyatmam, right? Two words are here from where the questions have arisen. And 7.30, Krishna says, साधि हुतादि दैवं मां साधि यज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकाले पीच मां ते विदुर्युक्त चेतसा. So adi devam, adi yagnam, prayanakale, these three words are here, right? So these are the questions that has been arised from at the last of the chapter 7.2930. What are these terms? So the question is, what is the Brahman? Brahman is spirit, right? Jiva, the indestructible living entity. That is Brahman. Earlier, Krishna told in the second chapter that you are not the body of the soul. Now, the inquiry is, what is Brahman? What is this term Brahman? Brahman is Jiva, indestructible living entity. What is Adhyatma? Adhyatma, Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyagna, right? What is Adhyatma? Nature of Deva, the self, the controller of the bodies. That is the self, right? Adhyatma. What is Adibhuta? The multi nature. Adi Deva, universal form which includes all demigods. Adi Deva is the supreme demigod. Right? Like there is the CEO, then the managers are there to to take care of. Now, for example, we have the desire, so we come into this world, right? But someone monitors, someone should monitor, right? Because there is a suppose there is a WhatsApp group. If there is no admin, then how to regulate it, everyone will be confused. So there are demigods, right? They are given the they are given the service that, okay, you are the you will be the head of this, and you will take care of, you will be the admin, right? So Adi Deva, universal form which includes all demigods, right? Adi Yagna, the enjoyer of sacrifice. Paramatma is Adi Yagna. And what is karma? Karma, the work and fruitive activities, actions leading to material body, right? So Adi Bhuta, Adi Deva, Adi Yagna, these three terms are together. Where does Adi Yagna resides? Adi Yagna is the enjoyer of sacrifice, right? The Paramatma, right? So he says in one more chapter, he says Sarvasya Chaham Radishani Vishnu. Sarvasya Chaham. So where does he live? He lives in Radishani Vishnu, in the heart of, wherever your heart is, he lives there. You cannot see him because it is the soul is 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair, right? Have the hair on the tip of it, it is 1/10,000th part, right? That is that small is the soul, right? So similarly, Adi Yagna reside in the heart of all. So it is very manageable, very we cannot see him with with the eyes, microscope and all. How to remember Krishna at the time of death? Practice remembrance throughout the life, right? Prayana Kale, how to remember? He asked the questions, how to remember Krishna at the time of death? Practice remembrance throughout life, right? Right. For example, you practice, for example, you have practiced your whole your life, only one thing that you know how to play football, right? Then at the time of also death also, you will remember that how to play the football, right? If you have remembered, you have remembered someone you loved a lot, then you will remember him, right? At the end of your life also, right? You will remember him at the end of your life because he have always taken his name, he always taken her name or his name, right? If you love someone like that, then it will be like you have taken always name. So automatically at the end of life, what will happen? You, because of the practice, what will come at the end of your life? That only will come. So if you are too attached, if you are too attached to someone, what will happen? You won't remember Krishna. You will remember the person you have, you have been taken always the name, right? Like that, you will remember. So 8.3, the Supreme Lord said, the indestructible. Now he will give the answer. He asked the question, now he has the answer. The Supreme Lord said, the indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman. It is indestructible, right? The transcendental living entity, of whose characteristics already Krishna has defined previously, right? The nature and the characteristics. And its eternal nature is called the need. What is the kind of nature? Is called its eternal nature is called the self. What is the nature of the soul of Brahman? It is eternal. And what it is called? The self. If you want to, who am I? I am Brahman. Paramatma is also Brahman. Everything, Supreme Absolute is also Brahman. The Brahman is indestructible, right? The nature is eternal and it is called the self. Action pertaining to the development of these material bodies is called karma. If these Brahman and the self basically gets involved in pertaining to development of these material bodies, is called karma, right? Any action related to the Brahman is being done, and what will happen? It will be called the karma, right? Development of these material bodies, right? Why we have this body? Due to our some karma or some fruitive activities. Some fruitive activities or some karma we have done. That's why this material body we have got according to that only, right? So we have performed some action related with that, and that by that we have got some karma, and by that we have got some material body. Right, whatever consciousness you develop, whatever actions you perform action in mode of goodness, you will get that body. You perform the more in mode of ignorance, you will get that body. You perform in the mode of passion, you will get that body, right? You are in a satoguna, you are in satoguna, you go to the heavens, right? If you are in a, you are in a, in a passion, you are eating too much, voraciously, you become a pig or something like that, right? You are too lusty, you are into an ignorance, you are into the ignorance, the temporary things, you become a dog, like that. So these are the logical programming of the nature itself. The law of transmigration of the soul from one body to the other, based on the desires and acquired merits, is seen as strict dictatorship of the Lord by some. On the contrary, the truth is very distant to this assumption. The Lord is Suhadam Sarva Bhutanam, right? We learn that Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Suhadam Sarva Bhutanam, right? He is the well-wisher, meaning well-wisher of all the living entities, right? If one develops taste in virtuous activities, Lord grants his wish, and in the next life, he gets a birth that enables him to do better activities. Birth in richer family, and we learned in the seventh chapter, right? Sixth chapter, 6.41 and 4.2, right? It's the birth in richer family among the demigods, etc., right? So one develops the taste, the higher taste. One develops the higher taste. What will happen? He will, Lord grants his wish, and in the next life he gets a birth that enables him to do better activities, right? Because certain, you don't get certain opportunities sometimes, but you do the karma as well. Develop the taste, and you have the virtuous activity. You do the virtuous activity, you will get next time, good, opportunities for that, right? While if one develops tendency to act viciously, you misuse your power you given to you, what Lord grants his wishes too. To protect the fellow from punishment, he gives him a suitable form where the activities are natural to him, right? One has the vicious tendency of eating too much, right? He will be given the birth accordingly. One has a tendency of too much sleeping, right? So what will happen next time? He will also sleep, then he will acquire a lot of bad karmas. Then what will happen? Then again, it will be directed to nurk. So better than to go to the hell. What Lord grants, Lord will grant him, you become a tree. Want to sleep, want to stay at a one place, okay, you be that, you have developed that consciousness, okay, be a tree. Now at least the karma, the bad karmas will not affect on you, because it's the nature of the tree to stand still at a place, right? So like that also Lord gives, right? So 8.4, physical nature is known to be endlessly mutable, right? The universe is the cosmic form of the Supreme Lord, and I am that Lord presented as the supreme, as the super soul dwelling in the heart of every embodied being. So here the definition of super soul is given. Physical nature is known to be endlessly mutable, right? It's always mutating, right? Here's the caterpillar is there, caterpillar is transformed into the butterfly. The design is like that, right? The design is like that. We cannot design such things, right? It's by the design. One cannot be design such thing. The universe is the cosmic form of the Supreme Lord. What is the universe? It is the cosmic form, and I am that Lord represented as super souls residing everywhere, right? Dwelling in the heart of every embodied being, every living entity. The super soul resides in the heart, right? He is the Sakshi. Basically, he is the permitter and the overseer. Updashtanu Mantacha, right? He is the permitter and the overseer of whatever activities we are doing, right? So chapter 8 now we come to the second part, how to remembering Krishna at the time of death. There is a very important shloka 8.5. Here, you have seen many, many times that, okay, at the time of that, the Kirtan is doing, someone is doing the japa. Why? Because everyone wants to remember, Krishna at the time of death, right? So, antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kvalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. Antakale cha mameva. Here the word is mameva, only me, and whoever at the time of death quits his body. Smaran muktva kalevaram. Quits his body is remembering me. Smaran muktva kalevaram. Me alone, right? Chamam eva. Me alone. At once attains. Yaprayati samadbhavan. Yati nastyatra sham. At once attains my nature. Madbhavam. My nature. Of this there is no doubt. Right? So only him. If he only is being remembered, then you will go directly to the Krishna. Right? It stopped. Wait a minute. Okay. Here is a story, here is a story of Yudhishthir Maharaj, went to the forest, he said that near a lake, and where, all the Pandavas, all the four Pandavas were, lying, like they were almost dead, right? They drank some water or they were almost dead. And, Yamraj, the Maharaj, Yudhishthira was asked, some Devi Shakti arised from the, from the lake, and and they asked the question that if they want to live, then you have to answer some of my questions, right? Some questions. So he is the ansh of Dharmraj, Yamraj himself, right? Okay, it's easy. He's always following the dharma, right? So yeah. So he said that what, Yamraj, and then once asked Maharaj Yudhishthira, what is the most wonderful thing within this world, right? What is the most wonderful thing within this world, right? It is being asked, right? So for that, this is the, that is the shloka. This is the shloka that, comes in the Gita also. So this is the answer that was given by Yudhishthira also. Ahani ani bhutani gachantiha yamalam seshas sthavaram icchanti kimascharyam ataparam. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment, right? But a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death, right? This is the most wonderful thing in this world. So here Krishna is also telling the same thing that Yudhishthira Maharaj, answered, right? Ani Ani Bhutani, right? We are also seeing lot of that, right? Lot of that's are being taken place, right? So, but we think that nonetheless, he says that one things that won't come, right? That won't come, or he doesn't prepare for the death. Basically we have given the golden chance of in the form of a human body, to have self-realization, to ultimately go back to Godhead, but one thinks that he is the eternal, right? He is eternal, and he is eternal, as he does not, he does not basically take care of, take care of the, to going back to Godhead. Rather, he thinks that's okay. This body is just for the enjoyment, just for the bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam, right? He is only into the bhoga and Aishwarya, right? So what will happen ultimately? Ultimately the cycle of death and birth will take place, right? So but a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. One has to prepare. The exam is the death, right? We have to prepare for death. This is the most wonderful thing in this world, right? This is the most wonderful. 8.6 यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम तद त्याजते अन्ते कावल कलेवरम तम तम एवति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भावितः. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail, right? Whatever state we are thinking of, that state will be awarded to us, right? But thinking too much of one animal, or you have become some consciousness out of animal, what the next state will be the same, the animal. You have the consciousness of a bird, you become that conscious, you get that body, right? The nature is like that. So accordingly, we get, we prepare the consciousness throughout our life, whatever state of mind we have kept throughout our life, that state only will be, it's not like, if someone is becoming a topper of something, of some class or some exam, it doesn't become in one night, right? It prepares for it, right? If you don't prepare, if you don't sacrifice for it, you won't become the topper. You won't become, you won't be, flourish in your, in your goals, right? So it's very necessary. It's very necessary that we keep preparing, we keep thinking, we keep studying, keep realizing throughout our life. Then only we will attain that. It's not like on one day we will achieve that. That's why the ashramas are like that. Plus the brahmachari is there so that you learn the discipline, right? Then the grastas are there, right? That you go as per the Vedic scriptures, right? You follow, you do have some desires, okay, you follow that also, just to learn that it has limits. It has limits. Just to learn that it has limits. Whatever you do, you will never get satisfied. Just for that, the grasta life is there. You want to do that, okay, you do that. You realize that it is all temporary. So grasta life teaches you that everything is temporary. Then ultimately what happens? You come to the Vanprastha and Sannyasa, right? Vanprastha is leaving everything finally, and going, because that everything was temporary. Now you quit earlier in the Vedic times. It is said that at the age of 50 or 50, Srila Prabhupada used to tell that at the age of at least 55, one should retire. right? One should retire from his grasta life, and but we cannot do that. We go to the jungle. You be there, you be in your house only. You one can be there comfortably in a house, but keep at least dedicate to 10, 20 years of your life at the end of life to the Krishna consciousness, right? To remembering the Lord. What will happen due to that? And ultimately, you will remember the Lord. Then you will have that consciousness, right? The same, the this is what is being said in the 8.5, right? To develop that consciousness, ya prayati samadbhavan yati nasti atra samshaya. Of this, at once attains my nature, right? One wants to be blissful, then you have to do that. Here is the example of great story of Bharat Maharaj that we have discussed earlier also, that once he was this tiger attacked the deer, and he was Bharat Maharaj basically went to the forest, he was a great king. He could have continued, he went into the forest at the very early age of the youth only. He did not wait it for to old age to come, because he was determined that okay, I need to be with the Lord, because it is the urgency. It is the urgency. He knew that this is the urgency, this is what has to be done. So he went to the forest immediately. He could have ruled much better, but he went to the forest, yes. And there so tiger chase, so a deer fell down, and a baby deer was born. So he thought that okay, let us do some manav seva instead of Madhav Seva. So he did some Manav Seva, he protected, that is fine. But after some time, his whole concentration in the Yagna also were gone to the whole concentration gone to the deer when it was grown also. So what foolish thing happened here, that he abandoned ultimately the purpose of life was to know the Lord. So he once just given that, and he get attached to the deer, and ultimately at the at the end of life, when you when once fall into the some from some hill, something like that, then what happened, ultimately he remembered that what will happen to my deer, who will take care of my deer. This is our situation. We will go and we will think, if we think that what will happen to my child, what will happen to my my wife and all, if you think like that at the end of life, what will happen? We go, you will again stuck upon that only. So similarly, what happened, deer, he thought of the deer, and he ultimately became the deer, right? So this is what happened. This what happens because of your consciousness, right? So Bharat had reached the eighth stage of bhakti, shraddha. What are the what are the there are total 9 stages of bhakti, okay? So we'll discuss that. There is a shraddha. For shraddha, start developing little shraddha, like okay, and there's a God. Okay, I have some shraddha. Okay, I have sab faith, have some faith, 10%, 20%, 50%, 90%, 100%. Some shraddha is there, right? So with that Shraddha, you become the Bhakti, you became the Bhakta, and you start doing the Bhakti Yoga. Then you come to the contact of the sadhus, right? The saintly person, that is called Sadhu Sangha. Then what you do? You start chanting, you do the Bhajan Kriya, you do some Kirtan, you do some chanting, that is attained that Bhajan Kriya. Then there is a stage of Anatrifri. Whatever, the your bad effects or ill effects or sinful activities you were doing, or sinful nature you had, the mode of passion and ignorance is gone. You are shifting basically to the now to mode of goodness. So this is a long stage. You come here, and many stuck in this stage, many go above that stage. What is the stage above that? It's nishtha, firm faith. You will have firm faith. Yes, there is God, and yes, this is happening because of the will of the Lord. You will have firm faith. Full nishtha will be there, right? Then there is the ruchi. Ruchi means taste. Then you will develop some taste, right? There will be taste, and the taste in the naam, right? Taste in the naam, that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then with that taste, you will have a sakti, with the attachment with the God, right? You will have some attachment. Then there will be the bhava, right? Then there will be the bhava, the tears of love. You will start feeling as having the ecstasy, right? You will have feel the ecstasy. But just after that, there is a stage of prema, right? The prema, the ultimate love with the pure love with the God, right? But fell just before reaching the ninth stage. He didn't achieve the ninth stage and had to return because of attachment to the baby deer. So that much he achieved, that much he achieved by going to the forest and doing all the activities, and remembering the Lord. But ultimately, what happened? He got attached in between, and he failed in that, right? So he became the deer. 8.7. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamam manusmara yudhya cha maya. मयि अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर मामे वश्यसि संशयः तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me. He is saying mam anusmara yudhya cha, mam anusmara, not anyone else. He is saying think of me in the form of Krishna, right? With two hands, two three bended form, holding the flute, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting, right? You do the fighting, but what you do, you keep remembering me. You are cooking, you keep remembering that I am cooking for the Lord, right? How to make it, how to make good food, right? You are doing your job. You think that I am doing this for the devotees of the Lord, right? I am doing this for this so that devotees of the Lord can get some money out of it. Devotees of the Lord can, so that whatever there's been, and all the living creatures who are there are being, you want to take care, so take care of yourself, right? You start caring about yourself, the self. If you take care of the self, then everything will be taken care, right? So Krishna is like that, right? At the same time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting, right? You do your duty, right? Whatever duty you have with your activities dedicated to me. Now this, because you are sincerely remembering me, always devoted to me, and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt, right? He is saying, he is giving the assurance, right? He is giving the assurance. Yes, you do that, you keep remembering me, what will happen? Your mind and your man is also here, your intelligence, your buddhi is also fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt, right? You keep thinking, right? Keep thinking. Right? One abhyas yuktena chetasana gamina paramam purusham divyam yati partha no chintayan. He who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha Arjuna, is sure to reach me. He is again giving the assurance, right? His mind constantly engaged in remembering me, constantly remembering, right? The Bharat Maharaj always constantly remembering, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha Arjuna, is sure to reach me. So here is a story, we are again and again saying that constantly engaged, remembering. So here is a beautiful story in the Bhagavatam of Ajamila. Ajamila basically was, he was from Kanpur. Kanpur is the place. Kannabhoj, I guess the place is there. Then Kannauj, and the Kanpur Kannauj part is there, right? So from there he was, he used to reside there, and he was the son of the priest of the town. The priest of the town. He was the son of the priest of town. He was married. At that he was married. He had a chaste wife. He had a mother and father. He was the son of the priest of the town, right? So he was from a very religious family, very pious family, right? Everyone respected him, everyone respected his father, his family, right? But one day, after the marriage also, one day he saw what, he saw some prostitute with having having some affair with some man, right? So what, he got aroused, right? He got lusty with that, with that scene. Okay, so he got lust in that, right? What happened after some time, though he was so aroused, he was so much remembering then at that scene, that he went to the, his wife. Then he said that okay, we need a servant, you are taking too much pain in doing the work, we need a servant. Okay, so wife said, no, no, it's okay, we don't need that. Okay, but he insisted that no, we need a servant. So what he did, he went to the brothel, and he searched for that, same lady, same prostitute, and he asked him, okay, what, I want a servant, and you come, come. So he said, no, no, you are a respectful person, I cannot come. But he said, no, no, I am in love with you, I am in love with you, you come here. Basically, he was in a very too much lust with the prostitute, right? So he said that I am in love with you. He said, okay. So she also said, okay, well, now I don't have to work, okay, I have to go. So he said, okay, okay, I will come. You take me as a wife. So he went. He took the, to the family, and ultimately, after some day, they realized, the mother and father and the wife, that okay, she's not the servant. She is basically here. She is basically the prostitute. So okay, okay. So everyone left him one day, right? The mother and father, everyone cried. They howled and cried that, what are you doing? What have you done? So he said, no, no, I am in love. Basically, he was in lust, right? So he was in, no, I am in love. So his wife also abandoned him, right? And his mother and father abandoned him, and he lived with this prostitute lady. And one day, a son was born to him. He kept his name. His name was Narayana. So at the early ages, people used to take the put the name of the child as Krishna, the Rama, and Narayana. It was auspicious. Chanting the tweaking the name of the Lord is auspicious. It's very good. So he keep used to he say Narayana come here, Narayana go there, Narayana eat this, Narayana do this, Narayana where are you going? So in whole his life, after that, what he did, always chanting the name of the Narayana. So some piousness again started to arouse, right? Some piousness again started to arouse, at the time of old age also, what happened one day when he was dying. So what when he was dying, he shouted, Narayana, Narayana, where are you? Narayana, where are you? Right? So he didn't took the name of the Lord, right? He didn't took the called the Lord. Basically, he took the name of the Lord, but didn't call the Lord. He called his son, right? So what happened, when soul was leaving, so Yamduta came because of all his sinful activities, right? Yamduta came. Now, but what happened, Vishnu Duta also came, that he is taking the name of the Lord, and name of the Lord is much higher than the Lord himself. So what happened? They fight it. It has more power, right? It has more power. So they couldn't argue, and they couldn't fight the Vishnu Dutas, right? So what they did, they left him, right? So he got the chance. He saw that, okay, I got the chance. I got the chance, and at the end of the life, right? At the end of the life, I got the chance by luck, right? Right, by luck, by the mercy of the Lord, right? By the mercy of the Lord, he got the chance, and again he realized that, okay, Lord is the supreme person Godhead, and I need to get back to the spiritual activity. He start again doing this all devotional service, and finally, finally, the Vishnu Duta, you can see the picture. At the end of the life, the Vishnu Dutas came, and finally he took him. So Vishnu Duta, basically what happened? The Vishnu Duta, the Vishnu, the Narayana. He took the name of the Narayana. So Vishnu that took the Ajamila, right? So this is the beautiful story that what happens. But here you will think that, okay, we do the sinful activity, of our whole life, then we take the name of the Narayana at that end of the life. And that doesn't happen. Uh, some people tried that, okay, at the end of my life I will leave my body in the Vrindavan. But what happens at the end of the life? Some ambulance comes and takes you to Delhi because you were, sick, and you die there. So this happens. So one cannot cheat the Lord, right? We cannot cheat the Lord. That was by chance, was the mercy that he has. You just kept the name of the Lord Narayana, so it was the chance, right? So it was the chance that, right, that one can basically, he got the chance to live take the name of the Narayana and ultimately convert, right? So we cannot cheat the Lord. He is the biggest cheater, right? If we would try to cheat the Lord, that we will do sinful activity, and he will cheat you badly. He is the biggest cheater, right? So we cannot do that with the Lord, right? Like, for example, you go to the, if you are late in a class, so if you tell the teacher that, okay, there was a traffic jam, and that's why you got late, then it's okay, right? But if you try to cheat teacher, then she will know that, okay, not he's not telling the truth, right? You are just making an excuse, right? That might happen. So we cannot cheat that, we cannot even cheat teacher. Now how can we get cheat the Lord, right? He knows everything. He is there in the heart, right? So this is important. Why the story is there in the Bhagavatam, to realize us that, okay, don't do the sinful activity, try to avoid it, right? Because one peak in the, you will think that, okay, we are doing devotional service, we are doing, we are chanting the name of Lord. No, nothing will happen if we see something sinful. No, to see the story of the Jamila here. He was into the religious practices, but he once saw, which was abominable, or which was, which can arouse lusty behavior in one, right? If one does that, you cannot control your mind, right? You cannot control your mind. Your intelligence will be gone. You will contemplate on the sense objects, right? What will happen? The downfall will be waiting for you, right? So this is the story. That's what is mentioned. That is the real story. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, right? So don't learn from Ajamana how to degrade, right? How to degrade. We don't have to learn that, okay, we will do sinful, and you are not that smart, right? But how to come back to the path of righteousness. He came back to the path of righteousness, right? So that's why this story is mentioned. So he got the second chance, right? So life lesson is what here? The life is preparation, death is examination, right? We have to prepare for the death. right? The death is the examination. What we remember, ultimately we will go there. You want again the misery of this fourfold miseries, or you want eternal bliss. Choice is ours, right? So chapter 8 part 3 we will remembering Krishna by Yoga Mishra Bhakti. What is Yoga Mishra Bhakti, right? The real success in life is Ante Narayana Smriti, right? You remember the holy name, right? Attributes, activities, and form of the Lord. How do we can remember? Either we can remember the name of the Lord, or the activities and paraphernalia, or or the form of the Lord, three-banded form at the time of that. Whatever you can do, you do that. If you do that, then only we gonna change. So what we do, we keep chanting the name of the Lord, right? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, right? 8.9. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature, right? So one should meditate upon Supreme Lord as one who knows everything. He knows everything, right? You should meditate like he knows everything. He knows everything. As who is the oldest, he is the oldest, right? He is the unborn, right? So he is become the automatically the oldest, right? So who is the controller, right? He is the controller. Who is the smaller than the smallest? He is the smaller than the smallest, right? Who is the maintainer of everything? He is the maintainer. He is beyond all material conception. Who is inconceivable is achintya, right? And who is always a person? He is a person, right? He is not just some material effulgence. He is a person, right? He is a personal form, right? Here you are seeing the beautiful form of Krishna, right? He is like that. He is like that. He is luminous like the sun. He is always luminous, right? And that luminous and the effulgence is there, right? And being transcendental is beyond, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature, right? He is beyond the material nature. So how one can remember? He is the knower of everything, past, present, and future. न जयते म्रियते व कदाचित नायम भूत्वा भविता न भूया, right? Nayam bhutva, he is present in the past, na bhavita na bhuya, right? Present and the future, all born out of him, right? He is puranam, all are born out of him. Anushasitaram, controller, he is the controller. Anor aniyamsa, smaller than the smallest. Dhataram, the maintainer, right? Beyond all material conception, all by planets, right? Always a person. He is a Rupa. He is a Chintya, unconceivable. Aditya Varnam, luminous like the sun. Tamasha Prastad, transcendent and transcendental beyond this material conception, right? So like this we can remember, right? So here is a very, question is there. Here is a very fundamental question. What is happiness, right? What is happiness, right? For kids, it is it is the day after the exam they get happy, right? For adults, it is Sunday because you don't have to work. For a prisoner, the duration where he's not being punished, right? That is a happiness is there. It's a part of happiness. Watching mindless TV for some, right? The idiot box we see. So zero is no doubt more than -1 or other negative numbers, but is it really a big number? Ultimately, happiness is what? Zero. It is better than the negative things. It is better than the misery, right? The misery, it is better than the misery or pain, but is it really, is it a big number? No, you are ultimately getting zero out of it, right? So in this world filled with miseries and pain, we just see few moments of painlessness and embrace it to be happiness, right? You will have few moments of painlessness. It's not happiness directly, but it's painlessness. Ultimate happiness you won't get. Whatever you buy, whatever you think, whatever you do, whatever activities of sense gratification you do, it's not eternal, right? It's not eternal, it's not aesthetic, it's not always, it's not eternally aesthetic, it's not eternally blissful, right? So what is happiness, right? So happiness is you basically achieving the Lord, right? Having the ultimate happiness, right? To serve the Lord, right? So how to attain the supreme? 8.40. Anya cheta satatam yomam smrati nityasya nityasa tasyaham sulubha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. Translation: for one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, right? He always remembers me without deviation. He is a no, he has no ulterior motive or something like that. He is easy to obtain if he has without anabhilashita shunyam. Any other desires are zero, right? O son of Pratap, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So if we are constantly engaged, to whom you are serving, if you are constantly engaged in the activities of the Lord, what will happen? You will attain Him, right? Because you are remembering, right? At the end of the life, also you will remember. Srila Prabhupada, at the end of his life, 6 months, for 6 months, continuous chanting was done. Continuous chanting was done, and he dictated Bhagavatam at the last breath, till his the last breath of life, continuously doing devotional service. This is what is needed, right? This is what is needed in us, right? Continuously doing devotional service. And ultimately, he doesn't care, he doesn't care, because the body is temporary, right? He doesn't care. He continuously doing devotional activities, and he left, right? Go to Golaka Vrindavan, right? So what are the practices of Yoga Mishra Bhakti? Describes as Yoga Mishra Bhakti, fixed mind and devotion to the Supreme Lord, right? Fixed mind and devotion to the Supreme Lord at death, right? This is, describes Yoga Mishra Bhakti. All these practices assist yogis in remembering Krishna. These practices are not the end in themselves. These are not the end, right? Sat Chakra, raise life air to the Agyan Chakra. This is done by the yogi, right? Sat Chakra Yoga. They do this. Then they chant Om, they chant Om. Then renounce sense gratification. Third point. And fourth, fix mind on heart. Right? Then finally, fix mind in devotion to Supreme Lord at death. This is the Yoga Mishra Bhakti. One is getting to, doing the union of the, getting a union of the union with the Lord, by, raising, there is, 7 chakras are there. The life air is lifted. Then the chanting of Om is there. And, with sense gratification, celibacy is followed. Then the fixed mind on the heart is, done. And then fixed mind devotion to the Supreme Lord at death, right? So, one can basically, basically Yoga Mishra Bhakti, what they are doing, they're trying to, took out the life air, life air from the head, right? From the head, what happens from the, if the life air comes out from the head part, you have the 9 various gates, right? 9 gates, we learned about the 9 gates, but it comes out of the head, then what happens? You attain the Supreme, right? This is what, basically is done by the impersonalist, the Mayavadis. So impersonal Brahman, impersonal is thinking of Krishna while quitting the body, right? He is thinking of Krishna. Om, same person, Brahma, same, right? So like this, they basically do. What does devotees do? They serve the Lord, right? Destination for devotees is innumerable Vaikuntha planets. There are innumerable. You cannot even count. That much are the Vaikuntha planets. So our destination, where we want to go, Vaikunthas, to serve the Lord, right? Now remember Krishna by pure bhakti. What is remember Krishna by pure bhakti? 8.15. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection, right? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This is temporary, and dukhalayam, full of miseries. After attaining me, mamupetya, attaining me, mamupetya punarjanma. The great souls who are yogis in devotion, right, never return to this temporary world. They will not attain to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. From the highest planet in the material worlds, Brahma Bhuvana Luka Punaravartana Arjuna, right? From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth. So from the highest planet in the material world is the Brahma Loka. It is the Brahmaloka, right? So Brahmaloka, what happens? There also death will take place. The Brahma will also die, right? 100 years of life. He has also fixed life, right? But but when in a one breath, trillions of years of the Brahma is there, right? So all places are where misery, right? Material world down to the lowest. The lowest are the Narka Loka, like Patal Loka. Patal Loka, the 14 Lokas are there. So lowest one is the Patal Loka, when repeated birth and death take place, or are the places of birth and death only. But one who attains my abode, it is above the 14 Lokas, right? In the Vaikuntha planet. So son of Kunti, go son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Why, heaven, heaven at and that Indra always, there is always war. Indra is always trying to retain his power, retain his seat in the Indra Loka. So heaven at war, earth at war, earth is always at war. Hell is just pain, right? Hell is always just pain. Just you are doing, you are taking sinful, whatever sinful activities are there, basically the atrocities of that is being inflicted upon you. The hell is just pain, right? So earth is also at war, heaven is also at war. So there is the place of, eternal bliss. Everywhere is a place of misery. Come to the chapter 5, part 5 on chapter 8, material world versus spiritual world. What is the material world? What is the spiritual world? By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together is the duration of Brahma's one day, right? We did some calculation previously, and such also is the duration of his night, right? And Brahma's days is manifest. This multitude of living entities comes into being, and at arrival of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. The comes and his host of beings is active, and again the night falls of Partha, and they are helplessly dissolved. Right? We cannot help it. Right? We have to do, because everyone must come, has to go. This is the law of, the law of nature, right? Law of karma, law of nature, or law of the supreme God, right? When he also comes, he depart from this world, right? He departs from this world. He also disappears. So cyclic creation and annihilation is there. Brahma's day, at the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest, right? We have some desires. Even if we die, then there is some desires. What happens with that desire? You will have some birth. You will get some body out of it, right? You will have some karmic activities. Because of that, some you will manifest at some state, right? Brahma's night, at the night, what happens? At night, Brahma, they are merged into unmanifest again. Then they are unmanifested at that time. So why is it temporary? Why is it temporary? It is the verse. Bhutagramasa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate rate agame vasha partha prabhavite ahar agame. Translation. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being. And with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated, right? So this is all temporary, right? So what are the real problems of the life? What are the real problems? Hare Krishna. Not getting a burger is the real problem. Not getting a pizza is the real problem. Not getting to watch the TV is the real problem. Not getting, some vacation is the real problem. No, those are all temporary, right? So what is the actual problem? Taking birth, because if you have birth, you will have some death also. You will have the death, again the birth. And birth is also a problem, because you are into the womb, basically not able to do anything. And that is also a problem. Old age is a problem. There will be old age, right? Whatever you do, but still old age will come. Disease will be there, right? Disease will come, right? So birth, old age, death, and disease. All, these are the real problems. The fourfold miseries, right? Material world consists of these four things. This one has to, come at the solution of this. No, but the worldly scientists, they don't do this. They don't, care for the real problems, right? They care for the mundane activities or temporary problems. So 820. Yet there is another nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter, right? It is eternity. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. So he is telling here, right? See, the supreme is still there. Everything vanishes, so that you have some proof. You will think that okay, everything is vanished. Okay, Vaikuntha Loka will also go. It will also unmanifest. No, no, dear, it's not like that. No, sir, it's not like that. It's like only the temporary worlds gets destroyed. The eternal worlds, the Vaikuntha planets are still there. That it doesn't get annihilated, right? So 14 lokas go, but the Vaikuntha lokas, the eternal lokas doesn't go. So description of the spiritual world and the Lord's abode, right? We will here see what is the description. Krishna's abode is non-different from him. Krishna's abode and Krishna is same. It's eternal, free from birth and death. It's infallible. Krishna's superior energy is opposite to material energy in quality, right? Unlimited bliss is there, opposed to the material world, which is full of miseries. Fulfills all desires. Various kalpa vrikshas are there. Various kalpa vrikshas are there. Whatever desires you have, it's fulfilled. But your desire will be to serve the Lord. So what devotees do there? Okay, they want something, to cook something for the Lord. There is the kalpa vriksha will ask something like that for the kalpa vriksha. You want something, whatever is related, whatever you want, the taste will be to you just serve the Lord. So whatever you desire from the kalpa vriksha is like that. All attractive, it's all attractive because Krishna and Krishna's abode are same, right? So it's all attractive. The abode is also all attractive. Unmanifest to mundane eyes, it unmanifested to mundane eyes, right? We cannot say it. Transcendental to manifest and unmanifest, right? Supreme destination, it is the supreme destination. Once you reach there, there is no chance of falling, right? A place of no return. Once you attain, go there, there is no, you don't have to return, right? We learned in page 115, 21, and we learned in 15 chapter also. What is the lesson from here? Every word is a song, every step is a dance. Let's go to that magical land. Let's go to that magical land. So we have to go to the magical land where every word is a song, right? Whatever speak, because you speak for the service of the Lord. The Krishna speak as a, whenever he speaks, it's a song, right? Every step is a dance. The Ras Leela goes there, right? The Brajvasis Leela, he exchanged loves with the Brajvasis, right? So what is there? Every word is a song, every step is a dance. Whatever he desires, you change your steps according to that, right? The Brajvasi, what they do? They are put into some calamities, they again go to the Krishna. They also put the step with the relation to the Krishna. Right? All these things is like that. So this is the Goloka chart. Basically you can see here under the bottom right, if you see here, these are the 14 lokas are there. Then Lord Brahma is the topmost loka. Here the Vishnu Garbhodaksha question is there. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is there. From where the basically Brahma is there. Brahma then creates everything. There above that, about that, the Durga Loka is there, and Vishnu's Shirodaksha Vishnu is there, then various planets, the Mahatattva Vishnu is there. About that, this is the Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka and the surrounding the Goloka Vrindavan is, effulgence, effulgence of the Lord, where the, basically the Brahma Jyoti, the liberation, those who want the liberation wants to go there. Right. So like this, it is given. Where here, Krishna's abode is there, it's equivalent to, Krishna only. And out of that, what is there? Various Vaikuntha planets, innumerous Vaikuntha planets are there. Right. So this is the Goloka Vrindavan. Like this chart is there, we will discuss further in next chapters also, I guess. And level 2, we will have a, have some detailed description, discussion on this. Here is, past tense of the Lord Krishna, and the activities, being done here in the Goloka Vrindavan are all transcendental, right? All transcendental. So Mukunda Mala Stotra, from here we take some shloka. Krishna Todiya Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Advaya Vishyatu Manasaraja Hamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Samaye Kapa Vata Pithai Kanta Varodhana Vidhau Smaranam Kutaste. Translation of Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower like feet, just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth of the lotus flower stem. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the action of the bodily humors, air, bile, and phlegm. How will I be able to remember you, right? So here the prayer by King Kulakshetra, Kulakshekara, in the Brahma Samhita tune, right? In the Brahma Samhita, right? This is basically a tune which is being recommended, but in this, King Kulakshara basically asking that, that what will happen, at the time it's better to, die just now, right? To die just now, like, because, right now I'm in a situation to remember you, but at the end of my life, I won't be able to remember you. This is the saying, right? So this is, how eager the devotee becomes, right? The supremacy of pure bhakti in attaining Krishna, right? What is supreme, how it is supreme, right? So ways of leaving the body, the yogis and the gyanis, what they do, they want to go into the light, right? And then the time period in light, etc., they attain the Brahma Jyoti. Result is that the karma kandis, they enter the and they go into the darkness, right? In the night they go, they attain the heavenly planets and then return to earth. This is the result of the karma kandis. They die at night. But the devotee dies anytime. He doesn't care for that, right? Because he's always involved in the serving the Krishna. Wherever he is, he is being to the Narka, he is being wherever he goes, right? He just want to serve the Krishna. He just want to take the names, right? He just want to hear the Krishna kathas. He just want to hear the pastimes of the Lord, right? So he attains Krishna Loka, right? So this is the practice we need to build upon, where to attain the supreme, always remembering me. Why? Because Krishna has told us, because if you do that, the eternal bliss is waiting. So yogis check auspicious and inauspicious time. What the yogis do, they check, okay, this is the time, then when we I leave, then my, then my soul will go to that place or that place. Pure devotees, any time is auspicious, because what will happen, the devotees, devotees around you, the sadhu sangha around you will take the names, that you will do the kirtan around you, and ultimately you will try to remember the Lord, right? You will have the remember the Lord, and ultimately you will go to the Krishna Loka. So how to think of Krishna at that time of that? So he helps, basically he helps with devotees, right? He helps, he gives the chits, in the exam paper, right? And okay, take this, cheat code, right? So, by this you come, right? By this you come, right? He gives the chance. He's merciful. He is merciful. He will give the chance. He has given the chance to Ajamila. Likely he will give the chance, right? He gives the chance. But you have to ask for it. You have to have sincere efforts. You have to love and devotion. In a bhakti, it's not, one does not, go do so much of pressure. He keep on doing the regulative principle. He keep on, practicing, the devotional life, right? Devotional service life. So how to think of Krishna at the time of it? Mentally think of me in the form of Krishna, and by chanting Hare Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna, then you will remember him, right? Physically carry out prescribed duty dedicated to me, right? Physically what you do, you keep doing prescribed duty. Intellectually, mind and intelligence fixed on you. You keep your mind for the and intelligence for the service of the Lord, right? वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रतिष्ठम् अत्येति तत्सर्वम् इदं विदित्वा yogi param sthanam uppaiti chadyam. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode, right? A person who accepts the path of devotional service, right? If you have accepted the path of devotional service, right, he will not be bereft, right? If someone is performing the studying of the Vedas, he will be bereft. He might be bereft, he will have definitely have something out of it, right? He will definitely add something to reach, ultimately reach the end of the supreme abode, right? So this is the assurance given by Krishna. So what are the 9 devotional service that that one can do? Shravanam and Kirtanam, right? This we do, right? Shravan is the most important thing, most important. Like you are listening to the Gita, right? This is Shravanam, right? Kirtanam means chanting about the holy names, forms, qualities, and transcendental pastimes of the Lord, right? This is Kirtanam, right? We chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, right? Even if one we excel, if out of it, if we one excel, we have excelled in one itself, then also we will go to Krishna Loka, right? Parikshit Maharaj is the best example. He was into the Shravanam, right? He sat, beside, and the Sukdev Goswami at the banks of the river, and he preached, because Sukdev Goswami left everything and went to the forest. He said that what is this, what is this world? No one is, caring about the Krishna. But Parikshit Maharaj, what he asked to tell me about Krishna. He asked the right question, right? People are not asking the right questions, right? If we ask the right question, then yes, you get, perfect spiritual guru, right? So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, remembering the Lord, Vishnu Smaranam. Pad Sevanam, the Lakshmi ji does that, right? Pad Sevanam, she does that, Pad Sevanam, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, right? Archanam, worshipping the Lord, right? Worshipping the Lord by through the deities, right? Vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord, Dhruv Maharaj, right? No, basically Vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He keep chanting for 6 months, and ultimately Vishnu came. Dasyam, like Hanumanji, becoming servant of the Lord, right? Becoming servant of the Lord Nam. By that he did the devotional service. Sakyam, like Arjuna, consider Lord to be the best friend, right? Considering Lord to best friend, that is Sakyam, right? Attaining that state. Atma Nivedanam, complete surrender, like Bali Maharaj, complete surrender to the Lord. He surrendered, fully to the Vamandeva, right? Ultimately. So where he gone to the, ultimately he was liberated. So like this, these are the 9 devotional service mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.523 to 24. कलेर्दोष निधेराजन्नस्ति एको महान गुण कीर्तनादेव कृष्णस्य मुक्त संग परम व्रजेत. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, a lot of faults, right? And we see yesterday a lot of faults in the human beings, right? There is still one good quality about this age, right? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. You don't have to directly leave. You keep chanting the holy name of the Lord, then Anarth Trivritri will be activated, right? By, after the Sadhu Sangha, have some Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, the anartha stage will be activated, will be get free from the material bondage, and you will come to the state of nishtha, right? And be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. You will attain the, ultimately Krishna prema. Okay, so here the question, here we end the chapter 8. So what we, summarize the chapter 8 in the 5 points. Then there were the 8 questions asked by Arjuna, right? Kim Brahman, the Brahman, and the Prana Kala and all. So he answered, Krishna answered them all. What is super soul? What is supreme Lord, right? What is Brahman? What is karma, right? And remember Krishna at the time of that, why? Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu, right? So that we can attain the Krishna support, right? Remember Krishna by Yoga Mishra Bhakti. What did Yoga Mishra Bhakti do? Om iti Eksharam Brahma, right? They go by the syllable Om. They chant the Om or Krishna, it's all both equivalent. So remembering Krishna by pure bhakti, Dukhalema Shashvatam, right? By pure bhakti, what does one do? He doesn't care, right? He doesn't care about, what time he dies, what time he keep on, doing the devotional service, always dedicated to the Lord. Material world, what is the fifth point? Material world versus spiritual world. How is material world and how is spiritual world? We learned about that. Paras tasmatu bhavo nyo. Spiritual world is eternal, all blissful, all attractive, right? We learned about that. And there is the supremacy of pure bhakti in attaining Krishna, right? Atiti tat sarvam idam viditva, right? The pure bhakti in attaining Krishna, right? To attain the Krishna, to keep chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So we end here. Any questions? Hare Krishna. Today's class. Please mark the attendance also. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any questions for today's class? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, why do japa beads have only 108 beads and the japa beads?
It's because Mataji, there are two things mentioned in the Shastras. One is there are 108 Upanishads and there are 108 gopis. That's why it's like that, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I have one question. Chitra Salunki here.
Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhuji. I wanted to know as to see when we take the mala and we chant 108 names, but I always don't get that time, sufficient time to sit in 1% do. But can I just chant his name without counting, without knowing how much I'm doing? Does it have the same value or does it not have?
Matari, name has all the value. Name is the supreme, but we are not getting the taste, but because, if you chant Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to be all ecstatic, the tears were flowing from his eyes, he's all blissful. That is the state when one chants Hare Krishna with the pure taste, right, Mataji? So, what happens basically, we do that, to keep some discipline because, it is recommended, Srila Prabhupada's guru recommended it, to have 64 rounds. Okay. So
Okay,
whom we are following? To our guru, right? It is recommended, Mataji, to follow the guru, right? Tad vidhi
correct,
pradinata pariprashnena sevaya, because we need a spiritual master. So it is
correct.
his power. The power of the Srila Prabhupada is there that we have to chant 16 rounds at least a day. This is our
Okay,
sankalpa given by the Guru. So it is the
okay,
Guru's power, Mataji, so that we keep catch hold of his dhoti and you go to the Krishna's abode, right? So basically, we are having the mercy of the Guru to chant only 16 rounds. That's why it's recommended to chant because his Guru recommended 64 rounds. But it is the mercy of the Srila Prabhupada, the founding Acharya, that he has given this liberality to not for the Kali Yuga that okay, you chant 60 rounds because we have to have because we cannot approach directly Krishna, right? Because if we can't
correct,
serve his devotee or we can't serve any living being here, then what is the use of going to the Krishna? Because if we are not satisfied with the living beings around here, we are not able to serve them, then how can we serve a God? right? So if we
Correct.
want to, if we can serve the living being here, then only we can serve God, right? Because He is all powerful. We will have the,
Yeah.
envious about. We will become envious about Him. But here, living being are not even, above you, and still we are not able to serve Him. What we can serve the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada has given us, the 16, 16 round principle. We need to follow it because we need to make it disciplined, right? Because if you don't do that,
Six.
then they will not know that how many rounds you've completed. Right? Haridas Thakur used to
Okay.
chant, right? 192 rounds he used to chant whole day. He used to keep count, right? 18 hours
Okay.
a day. Then he used to take his first meal, right? So
Oh.
18 hours a day he used to chant, and only 6 hours left. Then he
So the
used to take.
16 rounds are to be done throughout the day, is it?
Matari, it is recommended you day in the morning hours, but it's like if you start, if someone is in the devotional service, doing some mandir seva and all, they do it in the afternoon also. But the basic purpose of that is you have some concentration. If there is a time in between in the afternoon or in the evening that you know that at this time no one will disturb me and I will have a peaceful at time at that time, you do chanting at that time because it's important to have concentration. It's more about the concentration on the naam.
Concentration.
Right. So what happens basically, because since we go to the office and all, at the end of the evening, all the worldly affairs will roam around your mind. So it's better when you wake up to do first chanting only. You pray to the
Okay.
Lord. You will have remembering the Lord because you have done some prayer, and you will chant. Then you will not go wonder about the worldly affairs, right? You will think only about the Krishna. So it's recommended to at the morning. But I am telling you, sometimes have some service and all. Then you do at the time when you have a peaceful state of some time you have kept out of it. That okay, at this time I am free. I will chat. You can divide it also, Mathaji. So it's not
Okay.
an
And
issue,
one.
right?
Yeah, okay. And one question out of the syllabus, out of the Gita line, what happened was this Janmashtami, I bought an idol of Lord Krishna, but I did not. I just loved the face and I loved the everything about the Murti and about the Vigraha, and I bought it home. But it turned out to be Radha. So now in my mandir there is no Krishna, but there is Radha. So she is the one in the same, like Krishna and Radha are the same. So can
Right.
I continue, praying to that Vigraha as Krishna, or do I
Yes.
need to buy Krishna separately?
Mataji, what happened? If you know that she is Radha, now you will have in the mind, she is Radha. So Radha is more powerful, than Krishna himself because she is the energy of the Lord. She is the energy of the Lord.
Okay,
Ultimately, there is
okay.
Krishna only, but and just to expand himself, expands himself in Krishna and Radha, right? He becomes, Krishna and Radha. So you can also serve it that we are, devotees of Krishna. So keep Radha Krishna or keep the frame, Mataji. It's not an issue. Keep the Vigraha because we have to serve, right? Because there is a Vigraha, we have to serve. So Radharani is more merciful than Krishna himself, right?
So it is okay if I can, because I'm having a photograph of the ISKCON temple.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Hari Bol Mataji, Hari Krishna.
Hari बोल. तो ये है मेरे पास, तो मैं I can chant looking at this photograph also, no?
Right, Mataji. The frames are only ISKCON devotees are recommended for keeping the frame because with the Vigraha, what happens, Mataji? We have to do the seva also, no? Vigraha is there, then we have to do morning and evening prayers. All the protocols has to be followed. So that is there with the Vigraha. But generally, what devotees do, they keep the frame because you have to offer the bhoga also, and they offer. But if Vigraha is there, not an issue. Many devotees have Vigraha. I also have a Vigraha because I brought the Vigrahas, then I came to know okay the frame should be there. So I have Vigrahas, so I serve them. So they
I
have
was
given.
actually that afternoon I was praying to. I did not have this photograph with me, but I was praying with my full mind, and out of the blue, my husband comes home with this photograph.
Hari Bol,
I
Mother.
was
So
saying, कि, okay, how can
spirituality,
I?
right, Mother. This happens, Mother,
So he
because
just came home.
yes, Mother. Because what happens, you ask spiritually to the Lord, it is blessed right away. It is blessed right away. He gives
And
spirituality.
प्रभु जी, one more चमत्कार what happened? मैं ये लेके आई. Then at night I'm thinking, okay, ये तो फोटो है, ऐसी फोटो है जो जो मुझे वॉल पे लगवानी पड़ेगी. Then I said, मैं अभी नीचे बैठ के उनकी प्रार्थना करूंगी तो मेरे से फोटो थोड़ा दूर है, तो मैं सेकंड डे my husband comes home with a stand by table photograph. He's saying मुझे ये मिला. इस कौन सा, I said, ये तो like this is like out of the, I was so happy. He listened to me actually.
Right, Mata. He listens everyone, Mata. He listens everyone. He's listening right now. He's listening everyone because the spirituality, the spiritual progress. He wants us to come there as fast as possible, right? So if you want to serve, then you will get, you will be having pious activity. You will having, you will get the, spiritual benefits out of it. So the wishes granted spiritually is directly taken care by the, Krishna. So Maya also helps him, right? Okay, to provide the, whatever things are needed. You know, it's
Hmm.
like that, Mata.
Okay. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Any more questions? Hare Krishna.